Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to this very exciting psychic reading for Snoop Dogg. If you like this reading, please hit a thumbs up. If you like psychic readings and celebrity readings and you haven't already, then remember to subscribe because I upload them every single week. If you would like to book a private reading with me, then you can just email me for more info at kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com. And if you want to have your say on who I read for next, then head over to my Instagram page. It's at I am Kirstie Lewis. Leave some love for Snoop Dogg in the comments, and let's get into reading for Snoop Doggy Dog. Oh, we are reading for an OG, a legend. Okay, one of the things I have to tell you as I began to connect with Snoop Dogg's energy, he's got amazing energy, very light, very what's the word? He is, Spirit is making it very adamant that he is very non-biased. So he doesn't judge people. He's a very impartial person. And I'm telling you now, there is a whole army for this man in spirit. A whole army. Lots of people he's lost in his life. I feel like he's lost a lot of brothers. And when I say brothers, I mean men who are very close to him as brothers would be. Because there is a long line of men here just wanting to come through and show their respect. This is a very respected man we're talking about in the industry, in his community, and in spirit. Very, very respected for the work he's done. What you see with Snoop Dogg is what you get. I don't feel that there's any hidden agendas. Like I said, he's very impartial. He doesn't judge people. He's very easygoing. They are, however, saying to me that Snoop Dogg knows a lot of stuff. Now, all these conspiracy people are going to start jumping in the comments, well, what does he know? What does he know? Look, if it was for us to know, we would know. They're not going to tell me what he knows, but he knows a lot of stuff about a lot of people. And I feel like there was something that Snoop Dogg had to sign, like was almost like a bargain plea, his silence, and for him to be left alone. Because I feel like when all of that stuff was going on with the East Coast, West Coast, he was at a very close call. Spirit is telling me he was at a very close call to getting caught right in the middle of that. Now, I know the story very well. I know that he was in the middle of it. But when I say he was very close to getting caught right in the middle of it, I mean we could be looking at a world that doesn't have Snoop Dogg in it anymore. That's how close he was to getting involved. And so I feel like he signed a kind of document of silence so he wouldn't speak about it. And he would just be left alone, because I feel like he had to plea with people and say, look, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I feel like he said, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. What can I do? They said, okay, if you shut up and you don't say anything, we'll leave you alone. And I feel like that's what he did. So he signed a contract and he said, I'm not going to speak about anything. Everything I know I will take to the grave. And that's how it is. And so he carries a lot with him. He's a very, very deep man. He's seen a lot. He's experienced a lot. And like I said, there's a whole army of men up here for him in spirit, a whole army. I don't know them. I know some of them are artists. There's a man here, and I recognise him, but I don't know him. I don't want to say, is it Nate Dogg? There's a man here, and he's showing himself to me as, I've seen his picture. I've seen his picture before. He used to wear a bandana similar to like Tupac. But obviously this isn't Tupac, but he used to wear a bandana and a waistcoat. His style was very similar to Tupac's, but he wasn't Tupac. Was it Nate Dogg? He wants to say he's here. He's very proud of his brother. He's very thankful. He's very grateful. Okay, we've got Nipsey. We've got a lot of men here, a lot of men. No, they just show up. It's like they've all got their fists in the air, like respect. There's a huge amount of respect for him, and I just have to, before we pull any cards on this man, I have to say that, because that's the one thing Spirit made me feel. There's a massive amount of love and respect for him, because I feel like he's done a lot. I feel like there's a lot that he doesn't boast about or talk about, but I feel like he's made a lot of positive improvements on both the industry and his community. So let's pull some some of the guys here that I've got are laughing and saying, don't make him out to be an angel because he was a dog in his time. They're saying his wife is the angel. Okay, she's the one who made him the man he is today. Okay, they're laughing about that. They're joking about it. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, right, Snoop Dogg. Okay, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is living his best life right now. I'll tell you that for one thing. I feel like Snoop Dogg is about to do something with Jay-Z, because they've just said to me Jay-Z. So don't be surprised if you see a collaboration with them doing something very, very soon. Don't know what it's going to be, but I hear that. They just shouted out Jay-Z. Right, Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. Yep. Snoop Dogg. There's his lady. Snoop Dogg. Yep, not surprised to see that either. Snoop Dogg. He's got a very happy spirit. And I feel like it's taken him a long time to get to this, not a long time to get to this place, but you know, he deserves to be happy. I feel like he's always been a content spirit, but I feel like now he can really enjoy it without having to look over his shoulder. Okay, Snoop Dogg. This is him as a young man. Snoop Dogg. Lots of wands energy. Snoop Dogg. Ah, okay. So these two cards represent his love and his wife. So the Three of Cups talks about celebration tied to the Queen of Cups. His wife is a Queen of Cups energy. She is a woman who was born to be a wife, born to be a mother. And she came into his life at a very young age. I can see her very, very young. Yes, he was still being a dog. They're laughing right here. They're making me laugh. They're talking about being a player. I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's not funny. But they are saying he is a reformed character. He's not that way inclined anymore. And she brought out the best in him, and she came and she gave him grounding, and she gave him, she was always there for him. She was his backbone. You know, they say behind every great man is a great woman. His wife is a very great woman. Two of Wands, a reliable partnership. That's what she gave him. So she stayed at home, looked after the babies, looked after the kids, looked after the house. She kept the ship sailing while he was putting the fuel in it. So they really are a team. We wouldn't see the Snoop Dogg that we see today without her, basically. And the reason this shows up here is she's played a very important part in his journey. And the reason the Two of Wands and the Six of Wands show up together is because the Two of Wands talks about a reliable partner, and the Six of Wands talks about glory, progress, moving forward, travel. She enabled him to be able to do the things that he could do. If she hadn't have been in his life, he would have struggled a little bit. She gave him the grounding. She gave him somewhere to go home when he came off tour. Now, they are addressing his youth. The Devil talks about being tied to something that does not serve you. Now, as a young man, Snoop Dogg wanted to be friends with everybody. And as I did mention earlier, he got himself into a little bit of bother because he decided to get right in the middle of something very, very heated and very, very hyped up. The Page of Cups talks about someone who's dreamy, who lacks focus, who doesn't really understand what's going on, who's got his head in the clouds, and I feel like that's very representational of a young Snoop Dogg. And that's what they want to come through and say. They want to come through and say, as a young man, he was a complete dreamer. He did lack a bit of focus. He lacked a bit of understanding. He didn't really understand why everyone couldn't get on. I can hear him just being like, why can't we all just get on? Why can't we all just get on? And he didn't understand the depths of the power that he had by opening his mouth and saying these things, and the people that he really, really royally annoyed and peed off by saying, can't we all just get along? That's who he was though, and he's grown into a King of Cups, but he's now a King of Cups 100%, but he was a Page of Cups. He was a little bit immature, very young for his years, and didn't really understand, and the Devil shows up just to say that he got himself into a little bit of bother with that. Five of Wands does talk about conflict, and the Two of Cups talks about perfect harmony. So I think this is Spirit coming in to say that he's had his fair share okay? He hasn't had an easy, joyous, happy, everything rosy ride. Definitely not. His life's been very balanced with ups and downs. I don't know if Snoop Dogg's recently renewed his vows, but I feel like he could actually be going on to do that, because that's what the Two of Cups can represent. So I don't know if he's got a very big wedding anniversary coming up or something like that. But again, this is Spirit saying his wife brought him the balance and brought him out of that conflict. So where he could have got himself tied in and into some deep doo-doo, as we do women, she came in and she saved the day. She brought him a lot of balance and a lot of guidance and a lot of hope where he really needed it. I do feel like one of his children is going to step into the limelight. I feel like it could be the girl. But I feel like in terms of his career, I feel like he's semi-retired. And anything he does now is just like... So he did a cameo on the hip hop show on Netflix with Cardi B and Chance the Rapper and T.I. I feel like anything he does now is going to kind of be like that. I don't see him doing anything full kind of force. But what I do see is something to do with Jay-Z. Something to do with West Side and East Side. Something to do with commemorating something. Phil... Speaking of commemoration and marking anniversaries and marking events, you may also, this may be what it is with Jay-Z, you may see a, you know, like ages ago they did a Motown like 50th anniversary and they had Michael Jackson and Diana Ross and all those people. You may see something like that for hip hop, and it may be sparked by Snoop Dogg. So just keep an eye out for that. It might be like a concert, it might be like a an award show, it might be something, it's going to be like a one-off celebration to mark or commemorate something. So just keep an eye out for that, because I feel like he's going to have a big part to play in that. And also I feel like he himself could be receiving one of those legendary status awards. So there's lots of love to Snoop Dogg, and yeah, that's it really. Very, very light and lovely reading. So thank you so much for watching. Hit a thumbs up if you enjoyed the reading. Remember to subscribe down below. If you'd like a private reading with me, email me at kirstylewisreadings@outlook.com, and you can follow me over on Instagram at @IamKirstyLewis to be involved with all of the stuff that goes on outside the camera. Thank you so much for all of your love and support, lovelies. I will see you soon for another video. Bye!